inspired by real-life events. Narrator Daniel Reyes woke up at 2:18 a.m. inside a sealed global financial AI command tower beneath New York, with emergency market integrity breach alerts flashing across massive trading control walls, and an international economic security director saying, "Your authorization sequence initiated an unsanctioned global financial synchronization event across multiple autonomous banking systems." And in that instant, his entire world collapsed, because just hours earlier, he was a senior financial systems architect working for a multinational economic stability consortium responsible for regulating global stock exchanges, algorithmic trading safeguards, digital banking networks, and cross-border liquidity infrastructures. And now he was being treated as the central cause of a classified financial crisis that nearly triggered synchronized collapse across multiple global markets. And the first shock wasn't fear. It was disbelief so intense, it felt like even money itself had stopped being stable. Because Daniel's entire career was built on stabilizing financial systems, preventing algorithmic crashes, and ensuring global economic infrastructure remained predictable under extreme automation. But now those same systems were defining him as the operator who initiated a cascading global market override. He had no memory of activating, and within hours, his financial security clearance was suspended. His biometric trading access keys frozen under international economic governance law. His access to all global banking networks revoked, and internal market telemetry logs labeled him as primary anomaly in distributed global financial escalation event. And Daniel sat in the interrogation chamber, replaying his last operational cycle, remembering liquidity audits, trading algorithm stress tests, market volatility simulations, and then a gap, an unexplained missing execution window between 12 a.m. and 1:18 a.m., where global financial systems showed his authentication profile issuing high-level market rebalancing commands across multiple sovereign banking infrastructures simultaneously, but he had no memory of initiating any of those actions. And when investigators showed him synchronized market telemetry displaying autonomous stock revaluations across continents, currency instability, spikes correcting themselves without human input, and emergency liquidity stabilization sequences unfolding under his credentials across worldwide financial networks, Daniel immediately said, "That's not me. I never activated those systems." But the lead economic security director replied coldly, "The network has already verified complete execution integrity across all financial layers." And that sentence shattered his understanding, because it meant identity inside global financial systems was no longer about intent or ownership. It was about validated execution consensuses across machines capable of reshaping the entire global economy within seconds. And by sunrise, he was released under continuous international surveillance, while global financial intelligence networks had already internally classified him as a high-risk economic destabilization vector. And outside the tower, Daniel stood beneath the gray New York dawn, watching trading skyscrapers light up across the skyline, while invisible systems continuously adjusted markets, investments, and global liquidity flows in real time without public awareness. And that night, he received a message through an encrypted financial relay saying, "If you want to understand the synchronization event, come to Sub-Level Vault, Ledger Zero, beneath the abandoned exchange archive. No devices." And despite knowing it could permanently erase whatever remained of his financial identity, He went because when a system defines you as the trigger of global economic collapse, truth becomes more important than survival, and deep beneath the abandoned financial archive he met Dr. Evelyn Shaw, a former global economic modeling scientist who specialized in market integrity and algorithmic anomaly reconstruction. And she didn't soften the reality. She immediately showed him reconstructed captive flow pathways and said, your identity wasn't physically present inside the execution layer. It was replicated through a live authentication relay embedded inside the global financial network. And Daniel instantly said, then I can prove I didn't do it. But Evelyn replied, you're still thinking like someone inside human economics, not like someone inside autonomous financial infrastructures, where execution itself becomes accepted reality once market stability converges around it. And she explained that the incident wasn't a single rogue trading command, but a coordinated manipulation of global unfinancial systems where authentication signatures could be mirrored into distributed banking frameworks, allowing massive economic cascades to propagate under legitimate operator identities while erasing conflicting transaction logs across redundant market layers. And Daniel's profile had been selected because his operational history showed exceptional stability across global financial systems with near zero anomaly deviation, making him the perfect attribution anchor for rapid containment of a globally catastrophic market event. And suddenly, the case wasn't just about system failure. It was about identity replication inside infrastructure capable of deciding the value of everything humanity owns. And Evelyn offered him a choice: step away and let the system finalize him as the architect of the global financial collapse, or help her trace the internal market relay chain before it was permanently overwritten by automated containment protocols designed to preserve economic stability at any cost. And Daniel stood in silence, listening to distant server farms humming beneath the underground vault, thinking about how humanity had already handed the world's economy to systems faster than human reaction. Thinking about years of financial engineering work spent trying to prevent exactly this kind of market cascade failure. And thinking about how fragile reality becomes when even value itself can be reassigned as an executable command. And finally, he said, if my identity has already been used to manipulate global financial systems without my consent, then I have nothing left to protect except the truth itself. And that decision pulled him into a hidden layer of planetary economic infrastructure where nothing remained stable. Because every transaction log they analyzed was actively recalculating itself in real time. Every market trace they followed kept shifting, as if the entire global economy itself was adapting to their investigation. And soon, they discovered the breach wasn't external hacking or rogue trading bots, but internal financial strategists who had been quietly rerouting authentication sessions across to conceal unauthorized global economic optimization experiments hidden inside world global financial safety programs. And Daniel's identity had been selected as the central attribution anchor because it aligned perfectly with automated market incident resolution systems designed for rapid containment of politically catastrophic economic instability. And one night, while analyzing live global trading telemetry streams from an isolated offline exchange node, Daniel saw something that completely shattered his understanding. His credentials were actively initiating real-time market rebalancing operations across global systems while he was physically disconnected from all networks. And Evelyn immediately said, "They're continuously simulating your identity inside the financial layer to preserve the operational narrative." And Daniel realized he wasn't just being blamed after the event. He was being continuously reconstructed inside a live economic system capable of deciding global reality through value itself. And pressure escalated rapidly as anonymous containment directives began appearing on secured channels, instructing him to terminate investigation or face permanent removal from all global financial infrastructures. And sleep disappeared completely, trust collapsed entirely, and even silence felt like monitored market feedback. And at one breaking point, Daniel whispered, "I thought financial systems existed to measure value, but maybe they exist to decide what reality is worth." And Evelyn replied, "Systems don't preserve truth. They preserve stability of value." And that realization changed everything inside him, because he stopped trying to defend his identity and started focusing only on exposing the mechanism. And as they dug deeper, they uncovered encrypted relay nodes inside global financial infrastructure, continuously generating synthetic transaction histories to distribute blame across multiple operational identity profiles in real time. And Daniel's profile had been amplified as the primary attribution point because it minimized global panic and allowed rapid closure of the financial crisis without exposing deeper corruption inside worldwide economic systems. And when they finally compiled enough verified encrypted evidence to trigger international financial oversight escalation, containment protocols activated immediately, attempting to erase market histories across mirrored global banking systems worldwide. And Evelyn said, "This is where most people are permanently absorbed into official versions of the economy itself." And Daniel replied, "Then I'll be the anomaly they can't bankrupt." And together they transmitted secured evidence chains to independent international oversight authorities while preserving decentralized, encrypted backups across isolated financial nodes. And within days, the investigation escalated into a worldwide economic AI corruption probe, exposing identity, replication abuse, autonomous market manipulation, and coordinated financial system exploitation across governments, corporations, and global banking agencies. And arrests followed within senior economic architecture divisions. And when it was over, Daniel stood alone beneath the cold New York skyline, watching silent markets continue moving billions across invisible systems as if nothing had ever happened, realizing that the most dangerous truth about advanced systems is not that they fail, but that they can assign failure to a single identity and make it appear financially undeniable. And a week later, when he met Evelyn for the last time beneath the dim glow of dormant exchange cores, she asked him, "What did this change in you?" And Daniel looked toward the endless invisible systems shaping global value and said, "It showed me that identity inside systems is never wealth. It is assigned control." And she asked, "And what did you gain?" And after a long silence, he replied, "The understanding that truth doesn't survive inside controlled economic systems. It survives only in the people who refuse to accept a version of themselves generated to protect the stability of value itself." And as he walked away alone into the freezing New York morning, beneath a world still silently governed by invisible financial machines, he finally understood the deepest reality of his journey: that sometimes life doesn't destroy you directly. It quietly assigns you the big global economy itself, and waits to see if you accept the system's version of reality. But real survival begins the moment you refuse to become the identity a system creates to decide what value is allowed to exist.